Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It is wide open. Wide open, Duval. There's no elite. So take your place in the driver's seat. Great tune from the 80s, right? Sniffing the tears. Driver's seat. I always thought it was privacy until I heard read the lyrics years later. But that is the case. This thing is wide open. It's a battle of attrition. And the good news for Jacksonville, they're getting healthy. Three huge announcements today by the Jaguars a little bit earlier today. Number one, Trevor Lawrence practiced in full. After yesterday, maybe a little skip of the heartbeat when word came out that Lawrence was limited with an ankle tape. And he met with the media. Liam Cohen met with the media. There was absolutely zero knowledge of that time as to whether or not, Trevor was 100%. Didn't come out until after the fact. I imagine maybe we'll find out tomorrow exactly when that did occur. But it's good news. He practiced in full today. So if you had any reservations about the quarterback against the Jets this weekend, you should eliminate those right now. Also cleared fully today, Dewey and Walker Little. Both Andrew Wingard and Walker Little have been in the concussion protocol. They both missed last week's victory, and they're now back in. I think the question is a lot harder than the answer. There's so many people around sports in general who simply do believe you should not lose your starting job because of an injury. In this case, I disagree. I think Cole Van Lanen right now is playing better football than Walker Little. If you look at the money, it's freaking scary. It is. But this is not a Gladstone Baselli signing with Walker Little. Cole Van Lanen, to me, and I hate to say it this way, but let's just be honest about it. If you look at what he's done in the jumbo package, you look at what he did at left guard, right tackle a couple of times, right guard, now left tackle. Chances are someone's going to go down again. Okay, I mean, just look at this offensive line this year. It really has been a patchwork offensive line. I mean, remember the Chuma Edoga conversations. Patrick McCarry struggled at times as a high-priced free agent that they did sign this past year when they actually did bring in, 6 new offensive linemen. Okay, and they moved Fred Johnson, but they brought in 6 OLs. And Robert Hainsey's done an admirable job. I think Patrick McCarry's been up and down, but the guy who just continues to stand out is Cole Van Lanen. So I'm playing Van Lanen at left tackle on Sunday. Again, my best guess would be Walker Little's going to get another opportunity at left tackle because I have a feeling Cole Van Lanen's going to be asked to switch to another position. Unfortunately, because I do assume that someone is going to go down. It's just happened all year long along that offensive line. I think this is it for Dewey. We talk about bringing back your own and re-signing your own. Dewey's got a cult-like following around here. I just think he's so limited against the pass. I really believe that. We saw what he did against Arizona. He deserves credit there, knocking down that final play. All right, we'll give him some credit. Very good against the run. The Jets would love to be able to come in here and run the football. The last time they faced Breece Hall, the Jaguars held him to 30 yards rushing. And if you look at the New York Jets and their numbers, they're just awful. I mean, again, it's really difficult to try to make a case for a big-time upset here coming up on Sunday. As a matter of fact, more and more money being poured on Jacksonville. It opened up for the most part at the Jaguars favored by 11.5. Earlier in the week, it went up to 12.5. I see right now it's up to 13. 41.5 points, 41 and a hook is your total. We're about 26, 27 minutes away from hearing from the Philly Godfather. That'll be one of the 4 games that we will take a look at with him. That's coming up this Sunday in the NFL, even though it appears to be a one-sided event. Are you laying or are you taking as far as the points? Again, we'll get there momentarily. So, again, good news for the Jaguars. Clear across the board. It's not good news for the Jets. A Thursday has gone by where Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields once again did not practice. Brady Cook had an ankle injury and I want to say he was limited yesterday. He was full today. So, unless something crazy happens here in the next 24 to 48 hours, your quarterback for the New York Jets coming into town is going to be Brady Cook. Let's see. No, he was actually full yesterday as well. So he's been out there for every first team snap. And, this is the worst passing offense in the NFL. They come in here not even putting up 150 yards a game. They average 146 and a half yards. And Jacksonville's gotten better defensively against the pass. I think the explosive plays have been limited a great deal. They've really struggled as a unit against great tight ends. But I think for the most part, that's league-wide. And I remember my conversation a couple of years ago with Adam Kaplan, who I actually need to get on. It's been a little bit since I've had him with us on NFL radio. I said the Jaguars really struggle when it comes to covering tight ends. And he was like, well, that's the league. And it is. If you are to look at the NFL, the quarterback position has always been the hardest to play. Liam Cohen, I asked him about Cole Van Lannon a few weeks ago. It was either in Vegas or Nashville. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Nashville. He said the offensive line is the most difficult position group in pro football. Well, it used to be a cover corner, right? Isolated, or the left tackle, taking those beasts coming off the edge. Finding a linebacker who can perform well against the run. I'm not going to say they grow on trees, but you can find them. You can find really good run-stuffing linebackers. Finding coverage linebackers is a totally different story, and there's only a few of them right now around the NFL. So, that's what we have there. And, this thing just – I read it all today, including the New York papers, and they're just crushing the Jets. We know the Jets had the fire sale. We know they said goodbye to Sauce Gardner. We know they said goodbye to Quinnen Williams. It's the first year for Aaron Glenn, who's a guy who was mentioned around here. You remember at the time, it was pretty bizarre the way they actually did handle the coaching situation and the general manager search situation. Right now, it all looks good. I'm not dismissing it, okay? But I can't either take away the comments that I made at the time. I thought it was upside down. What is it, bass backwards? That's what I thought it was. And, it's working. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying it was out of the norm. And this football team now is a couple of days away from winning their 10th game of the season in Week 15, and it will only be the second time that Jacksonville has won 10 or more games, going all the way back to 2007. Think about that for a moment. That is freaking scary. 2007, the last time this team won 10 ball games. Yeah, the year they made it to the playoffs, year one with Doug Peterson, year two with Trevor Lawrence, they were 9-8. So that's right there in front of them. And again, I had them going 10-7. I wish I could redo it now. I think they win 11 games or 12 games, or who knows. We'll see what happens next week in Denver. That is certainly going to be a big one. And we can look ahead. You can as fans. We can in our position. This football team cannot. And that's really the biggest issue of it all. Will this football team look ahead. And for the most part, in professional athletics, you don't get a lot of that. You always do on Saturday in college football. Okay, that is something that has always happened. I'll never figure it out why these youngsters are looking ahead or they're coming off a huge game and they can't get it going. They can't get up for a lesser opponent. Professionals, that's typically not the case. You're ready. And even though you're a 13.5-point favorite, you do have upsets because it is the league. And you're going to find good players on every team. And just about weekly, we do see a big upset, but not a 13.5-point upset, not a 2-possession game. And it's, 2 touchdowns is the difference looking at this one. So anyway, going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun out there at the bank coming up this Sunday. All right, here's what I want to do. I want to get into the Sharon Moore deal. And, this has really turned into a tragedy. I just feel so bad. And I don't know Sharon Moore. I don't know anyone involved. I've seen the pictures of the young girl. I don't know who the assistant was, where he allegedly was in that home and was talking about allegedly a homicide-suicide. I don't know what to believe, what not to believe. The latest is he's going to go to court tomorrow. We still don't know his side of the story. But I can think of like Aaron Hernandez. When I first heard about it, that he was arrested, I was like, really, really? And then you saw his life just completely crumble. I was talking about Sharon Moore yesterday, not only on air, but off air. He's 39 years of age. What Sharon Moore needed to do was grab a job as a position coach at like Central Arkansas. Just go away for a little bit. I'm sure the wife's going to leave him and they're going to start all over. Apparently, that's where the issue began yesterday. And I don't know that. Maybe she is forgiving. They have 3 young daughters. My belief is she's going to take half or more and he's going to be out on his own. But he could have gone to Central Arkansas, got himself a small little apartment, right, and rebuilt his career. Football is so forgiving if you can coach. Football is so forgiving if you can play. And he had an opportunity to rebuild himself and his career. With this story, and again, it's not fair because we don't know the facts. We have not heard from his side of the story, but I just feel terrible about it. A 39-year-old guy who was handed one of the great jobs in college football. He was handed a top 5, if not a top 10 job. The money that Michigan has, it's incredible. Coming off a national championship of a couple of years ago, promoting him from within, and now you see just him really falling off the face of the earth with so much negativity that's going to go along with it. I want to come back and spend a couple of minutes on this because there's links that are heading in different directions now that honestly are amusing, okay? And that doesn't involve Sharon Moore because nothing is amusing there. These are other links, and we'll get to that coming up. All right, so we're going to do that. We're going to bring in the Philly Godfather. And then I want to hear from you because I feel like, whenever I do a live remote, I'm not as interactive with the listeners as we are each and every night here on Into the Night. So this is your real opportunity to fire away questions and opinions on whether it's Sharon Moore or obviously the Jaguars. The best way to do it, 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. And also, let's welcome those in tonight on YouTube at 1010XL Into the Night. So going to grab a lot of reaction from you after the interview that we have coming up here with the Philly Godfather in about 16, 17 minutes or so. All right, opening comments brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Always want to thank them. What a great holiday present that would be, right? Make an appointment to go on in and get an examination at Shmunez Vision. Sure, get the very latest as far as the prescription, no doubt. But then really take a look at yourself and ask yourself this. Are you a candidate for laser eye surgery? It's very affordable. all right? Especially if you have the right insurance. And on top of that, just think of how cool it would be. Never have to deal with contacts again. Never have to look for your readers again. 2020 for the rest of your life. My neighbor's doing it, okay? What buddy I golf with all the time from GFL, Derek Redding, he and his bride, by the way, they're in Vegas right now. I hope they're winning. Both sons with him. They're both going to do it, okay? And, he's the guy I play golf with. He has trouble seeing the pin. He has trouble seeing the flag. I take his money all the time. I almost feel bad about it. He's going to start taking my money when he gets his eyes done and he can see 2020. He's going to Shmunez Vision. You should do the same thing. Check him out online. You can also go to Instagram and get all of the testimonials. What a pleasure it is to have you with us right here on the home of the Jaguars. I'm Rick Ballou, and we call it Into the Night.
Open the weekend early with Pre-Game Friday.
Anything you want to add to this?
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
That's all I ever think about.
Pre-Game Friday.
Built by Dreamfinders Homes on 1010XL.
Ballou here for Shmunez Vision. Why Shmunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Shmunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Shmunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Shmunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit shmunezvision.com today. Here you can see.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. The most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right, and they give a bunch back to the community. Visit NimnickBuickGMC.com today to learn more, or visit their showroom off Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This is Garrett Scantlin, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for any orthopedic issue you have. I'm back to my Olympic training, and I feel great.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now's the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of December, you can join and save $1,500 off their initiation fee, plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hey folks, Ronnie here with Brandon Roofing. If your roof's got more leaks than your Uncle Jerry after too much eggnog, we've got you covered. Whether you need a quick repair or a full roof replacement, our team works faster than you sneaking out of your in-laws' holiday dinner at Christmas. Give yourself the gift of a roof that actually listens when you say stay together. From our family at Brandon Roofing to yours, have a Merry Christmas, even if you're spending it hiding in the garage. Visit us at brandonroofing.com. That's BRANNAN.
Truth Teller here, and I've solved all of your holiday problems and stress. A gift card from the Blue Crab Crab House. Get this, you buy a $50 gift card, and you get an additional $15 card for free. It's that simple, and as always at the Blue Crab Crab House, the best crabs in Jacksonville. oysters, and seafood, period. Blue Crab Crab House, open every day except for Monday, off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road.
If you're listening to 1010 and you're a parent, chances are your kids are playing sports. Check out i9sports.com with spring and summer registration open right now. In the gym or on the field, and now at Tocoi Creek High School and Westside Middle. Check it out, i9sports.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
You ever seen Boogie Nights?
No, sir.
You need to. Burt Reynolds, Mark Wahlberg from Boston. Kind of steals from the whole Wonderland deal, and John Holmes, who was the most, and this song is from Boogie Nights too as well, but he was the most famous male adult star, and then he got involved with Nash. Tell him the Nash is here. And that's from Wonderland, which is another really good movie. But anyway, he got involved in stealing drugs from a kingpin, and there were murders, and Boogie Nights does a little bit of that. But, I mean, Roller Girl, what was her name? She was so beautiful. Probably still is, right? You can get old and be beautiful. Heather Graham, for crying out loud. Listen to this cast. Don Cheadle, Philip Seymour Hoffman, the late. William H. Macy, who blows his head off in the movie. I'm not spoiling anything. This came out in 1997. Because his wife is a real-life porn star. I can't remember her name. Julianne Moore. Just John C. Reilly, who was with Mark Wahlberg as well in that Boston-based movie, Out of Gloucester, Perfect Storm. So anyway, you need to see that, Dylan. I mean, if tonight's Falcons-Buccaneers game is a blowout,
snooze fest.
Yeah, you can put that on. What was the name of the lady of the night? She actually didn't play herself, but they didn't even give her a credit here in the movie. Philip Baker Hall's in it. I mean, what a cast. Nina Hartley. Okay, there you go. My guess is that more people out there know that name than they're willing to admit. Let's get to Sharon Moore. I've made a mistake. You know, I didn't make a mistake. I said it wrong. If the Jaguars win their 10th game, it'll be the second time since 2007 that they have had victories in double digits. They did it in 2017 with a record of 10-6. Again, they went 9-8 in 2022 and 2023. So, they went 11-5. The 96 year was just phenomenal. And to this day, I think it was the greatest year. I mean, it's the way that they won those games late, and went to Denver and won, went to Buffalo and won, went to New England. They shut the lights off for like 10 minutes. Man, that was one of the coldest football games that I've ever been to. We had press and auxiliary press, and the old Foxborough Stadium, Dylan, which I went to as a kid, was Sullivan Stadium and Schaefer Stadium. It had open doors and windows. They were not complete. There was no way, if you were outside, to be able to hide away from the wind. It was, you talk about a swirling wind in Foxborough. And I know some of our listeners were at that game in January of 1997. It was, as a member of the media where I wasn't a sideline reporter, the coldest football game. And I remember with Bill Riley and a couple of other guys, I think Cole Pepper, waiting to get picked up after the game, just freezing my ass off.
Yeah, no thanks. I'll be a fan and have the heater on. I mean, it was cold last night. I had the heater on beside me.
Yeah, I go home. My GF's got the fire going. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? Both cats are hanging out right by the fire. I'm like, come on, man. It's 60-something degrees. It's okay. It's cold if you're going to play golf, but outside of that, I think it's nice. I mean, look at me. I'm T-shirt and shorts. It's the way I roll. I have to. All right, 11-5 in 97, 11-5 in 98, 14-2 in 99. 12-4 in 05, 11-5 in 07, and then you go to only 2017. It's going to happen this year. It should happen this Sunday. So, again, I do want to go ahead and correct myself with that. The Sharon Moore deal now, again, we'll wait till what happens tomorrow. But if Kalen DeBoer takes this job, and if I'm Kalen DeBoer, and, again, it's easy to sit here and say it, but the way that everyone freaked out about Kalen DeBoer after they lost to Florida State, you don't know how deep the grudge is. And will he be received better by now going to Michigan compared to these massive shoes that he has been asked to, replace at Alabama? It's never easy replacing the guy, right? It wasn't easy at Penn State. It wasn't easy at Florida State. It wasn't easy at Florida. Okay, what did Spurrier? I'm trying to think now. Well, it definitely wasn't with Ron Zook. Okay, it's not easy right now at Alabama. It wasn't easy at Nebraska. When you replace a legendary coach, it's always going to be very hard. So, I don't know about pressure, but it just feels like Kalen DeBoer would be welcomed with open arms. And once Alabama gets knocked out of this thing, and it could be in the first round of the playoffs, you just wonder how those restless fans are going to be at Alabama. But what's so amusing is, Dylan, how many times did you and I have this conversation during the whole Lane Kiffin? Is he going to LSU, Florida, or staying at Mississippi? The point that I always made was he'd be smart to stay at Mississippi, because what if that Alabama job opens in a year or 2 or 3? It would make total sense for Lane Kiffin to go to Bama. Now, if Kalen DeBoer leaves and goes to Michigan, Lane Kiffin is obviously out now at LSU.
Yeah, I was listening to Cole Kublik the other day, who's obviously got boots on the ground in a lot of spaces. He said Alabama, there's no shot Alabama would hire Lane Kiffin, which I kind of find that hard to believe. I mean, if Alabama gets blown out in the first round of the playoffs and Michigan still doesn't have a coach in the next week, because Alabama-Oklahoma's next Friday night, by the way.
Yeah.
If Alabama loses, 30-10, and Alabama's like, yeah, we've had enough of this, and he just says, I'm going to Michigan, if you're Alabama, I don't know what you do.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be Lane Kiffin. Had he been in Mississippi, who knows? But the precipice that he set was there's no shot that Alabama would have went after and got Lane Kiffin. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Nah, neither do I. All right, tonight's show is brought to you by Alexander Law Practice. I'm going to tell you more about them in just a couple of minutes, but I want to hit this break here on time so we can bring in the Philly Godfather for his weekly plays. He's coming up next.
Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi are on a mission to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. I've instructed my team to take every reasonable offer. We won't lose your business over price. Thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to move. Get year-end savings, top dollar for your trade, and the easiest car buying experience ever. But hurry, these deals end when we hit 2,000, and we ain't leaving nothing on the table. Make it a December to remember, only at Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi.
Like many football fans in Jacksonville, I love defense. I am attorney Lee Lockett, and I'm here to tell you that defense in the courtroom is important as well. That's because penalties for DUI are much more serious than penalties on the gridiron. If you or someone you know is facing a DUI, call us for a free case analysis now. Know before you blow 858-9818. Put my more than 20 years of experience to work for you. Office is Jacksonville, serving all surrounding counties. Call 858-9818 or go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com.
It's not girl talk, it's sports talk.
Let's talk football.
Tom McManus adds his helmet to the heels with Lauren Brooks and Taylor Dahl. Afternoons 2 to 4. Fought for you by Green Law Group on 1010XL.
Introducing the Jag Stack at Firehouse Subs. So bold, it's named after the home team. Stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, roast beef, provolone, fresh veggies, and the new Duval drizzle sauce. For a limited time at your local Firehouse Subs, there's only one hottest sub in Duval.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, I'm worried.
You? Really? About what?
Well, I like to have a little seasonal potluck. You know, invite some friends and neighbors and guys from the office. But if the food gets spicy and the party gets rocking and that old toilet in the two-piece can't handle the traffic, well, what if my drain backs up right in the middle of everything?
Dude, imagine you're wearing my sunglasses.
Okay. Shoomp. Whoa.
If you're planning to host a holiday party and a blocked household drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, call us and tell us. The drain clearing experts at Bueller Air & Plumbing will unclog your drain for free.
You do that for free?
It's Christmas.
Yeah, but for free?
The holidays can get pretty hectic. If a clogged drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Get ready to celebrate December with Best Bet. We're giving away an incredible $660,000. Kickstart your holiday fun at all Best Bet locations with the 12 Days of Christmas High Hands, $500 giveaways during Clockwork Cash Out on the table games, and big cash high hands all weekend long. And don't miss out on thrilling tournaments like the $30,000 guarantee GoPo 300 at Orange Park and daily tournaments at all Best Bet locations. For details, head to bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
Need some extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach is always looking to buy guns, guitars, surfboards, tools, and you know it, gold. Get cash today at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jack's Beach.
Ticket here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out, Garage Door 911, GarageDoor911.com.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Let's hope things are warming up a tad bit. I don't know if that's the case in Philadelphia. Let's bring in the legend right now, a best-selling author, a professional handicapper. It's always great to talk with the Philadelphia Godfather. Hello, sir.
What's going on, Rick, man? Bad things in Philly. Seems like every week Philly Eagles fans are saying they can't lose another game, and they just keep losing.
Yeah. And, you know, we had that conversation a few weeks ago, and we looked at the numbers on Jalen Hurts, over 100% with his quarterback rating. And at the time, 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. And, I'm not – it's not that he's not reacting well to the pressure. What is it? What's gone wrong with him as of late?
Well, the style of football they've been playing over recent play is just not tailor-made for him. I mean, anytime he's thrown for over 200 yards this season, the Eagles' record is 2-5, and it took a miracle to beat the Rams, or else they'd be 1-6. So That's not how the Philadelphia Eagles won games last year after week 4. They were running the ball down people's throats. And the biggest issue to me is the offensive line. They haven't been able to create the holes. They have no running game. They're ranked 25th in yards per rush attempt. That's a big problem. So if your offensive line, isn't creating those holes and isn't protecting the quarterback, Jalen Hurts isn't the type of elite passing quarterback that's going to win games throwing for over 200 yards. And you saw what happened the other night. He threw for 240, but he had, 4 or 5 turnovers. You just can't win games that way.
Man, Barkley had a nice night the other night, but he hasn't had anywhere near the year he had a season ago as well. Hey, Philly Godfather, before we get to your picks, tell our listeners how they can get your book. I can't think of a better stocking stuffer.
Yeah, you go to phillybooked.com. I'll send you out an autographed copy. It will take 3 to 7 business days. Or if you can't wait, go to Amazon. It's shipped to order. It won't be signed, but you'll probably get it the next day.
All right, there you have it. Let's begin in the AFC East. Buffalo and New England. The Bills visit the Patriots. How do you see it?
Yeah, I like the Bills here on the money line. I laid 1, and I like them on the alternate line, -6.5 plus 190. This Patriots team has been, in my opinion, one of the luckiest all season. They're ranked 3rd in overall luck ratio. They've also caught teams at the right time. The Patriots have had an average health score advantage of +7 against every team they faced this year, except for in week 1 when they lost to the Raiders and against a horrible Giants team that imploded 2 weeks ago. This week, both teams have an overall health score of 80, so that's an even keel. Revenge is definitely on the Bills' mind after losing the Patriots in week 5. They lost that game 23-20 in a game where Buffalo had more first downs, more total yards, but they turned the ball over 3 times, and they were penalized for 90 yards. The Bills also won the time of possession battle in that game by 10 minutes. So I don't see the Bills turning the ball over 3 times again. I think they come out here and they win this game by a touchdown.
All right, there you have it. Buffalo, a slight favorite. The Philly Godfather likes it. Money line as well as laying the point. All right, LAC, Kansas City, important for both teams here. The Chiefs are desperate. They need to win football games.
Yeah, and when I gave out the under 11.5 on the Chiefs season win total before the season started, I didn't expect to cash the ticket by week 13, but here we are.
Yeah.
We're in week 15, and, I knew they were going to have a down season, but I didn't expect them to be in 3rd place in the AFC West. They're sitting below 500, and like you said, they may not make the playoffs unless they find a way to win out, and even then, they still might not get in. Not guaranteed. When it comes to this game this week, I'm a little baffled again, like I was last week when they were playing the Texans and they were laying 3.5. This week they're laying 5.5 against the Chargers in Arrowhead. I think it's a little too much. Obviously, the Chargers are coming off a short week, but Kansas City has no business being that big of a favorite against a division opponent like L.A. As long as Herbert plays, I like the Chargers here. They're the slightly healthier team overall. And as I mentioned last week, every time the Chiefs have faced a top 10 defense, they lost outright this season to the Jags, Chargers, Broncos. And you could add the Texans to that list from last week. And unless the Zebras have something up their sleeves, I don't see the Chiefs covering this Vegas number. And honestly, with the way the Chargers defense is playing, it's going to be hard for Kansas City to win this game.
There you have it. Kansas City, 5.5-point home favorite. The Philly Godfather likes the roadie here, getting points, getting 5.5 at Kansas City. Philly Godfather, let our listeners know how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, you can go to phillygodfather.com, or you can find me on X, Twitter, at Philly Godfather.
What a game this is going to be. Green Bay at Denver, a primetime game coming up on CBS Sunday afternoon at 4:25. How do you see this matchup?
Yeah, this feels like old school smash mouth football. Originally, the line opened up Packers -1. The total was set at 41.5. And since then, there's been some small movement in the market. The Packers are currently laying 2.5. The total has ticked up to 42.5. Surprisingly, the early bet splits in the U.S. and offshore markets from the bookmakers I talked to say almost 80% of the action is on the Broncos. I mean, that kind of surprised me a little bit. A lot of public money there, Rick.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and obviously there's a lot more action to come in by Sunday, but that kind of shocked me a little bit. When handicapping this matchup, we're looking at, like the 2 best defenses in the NFL. Broncos ranked number 1 and the Packers 5th in opponent yards per play. Both teams are tied for 3rd in opponent yards per pass attempt. But offensively, the Packers have been the more efficient team all year and carry the better metrics. And another thing that bothers me here is if you look at bet the Broncos, I can't remember the last time an 11-2 team was playing at home against a team that had a record of 9-3 or 9-3-1 and was a 2.5-point underdog.
That's a great
It feels
point.
like a trap a little bit. Yeah, it feels like a trap, man. I already bet the Packers -1. I think the right side at anything under a field goal. Ball security in games with short point spreads, I've preached all year, is always huge. And so far this season, Green Bay ranks 8th in turnover differential, while the Broncos sit outside the top 20. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a tight game. Packers offense has been better. Jordan Love has been better than Bo Nix this season. But I like the Packers at anything under a field goal. But if you want to bet a teaser that has some value, Broncos at home, huge home field advantage, +9.5 and under 49.5. You could probably cash both ways.
Yeah. All right. Interesting way of looking at it. Denver's the only undefeated home team this year in the NFL, and chances are they're going to lose one of those games, whether it's this Sunday or it is next week against the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. And let's wrap with that game. Jacksonville, an enormous favorite. As a matter of fact, I think this is, I don't know this, but this may be the most that they've been favored in like 20 years in this matchup against the Jets.
Yeah, it's the biggest line since Trevor Lawrence has been a quarterback. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
This line opened up 10.5. It moved 3 points already. It's up to 13.5 at almost every U.S. and offshore sports book. Total opened up at 41.5. There's been no movement on the total. As of right now, all the public money, obviously, on the Jags, right around 80%, heavily tilted on Jacksonville here. But laying almost 2 touchdowns in the NFL, it feels like a ton of points, even if it's against a 3-win Jets team that just got blown out by Miami. I think the score was 34-10. And like I said, it's the biggest point spread of Trevor Lawrence's career. But with that said, I'm not running the window to invest in New York here. This will be back-to-back road games for the Jets. They're limping into Jacksonville with an overall health score that ranks 10 points lower than the Jags this week. The Jets also have the worst turnover differential in the NFL. And to add, salt to the wound, I'm pretty sure this Jets defense, you only have 2 takeaways this season and 0 interceptions. So that's not a team I want to invest in. I kind of like total. I like the over, 41.5.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence has thrown 9 touchdowns in his last 4 games. And over recent play, the Jags have scored the 4th most points in the NFL. And I'm expecting them to have a big day through the air against the pass defense that's mediocre at best. I think their Jets are ranked 15th in opponent yards per pass attempt, and they carry the 3rd lowest health score of any pass defense on Sunday. So I like the over 41.5. I didn't bet the side yet, and I also like the Jags team total over 26.5 points.
All right. You like the Jags what now? Oh, team total over 26.5?
26.5 points, correct.
Yeah. Their last 6 games, they're averaging 30.3 points a game. Very good play there. And the Jets -15 on the season with their turnover to takeaway ratio. The Philly Godfather, ladies and gentlemen. How do they get your book?
Yeah, please go to phillybook.com. I'll send you an autographed copy. Or you go to Amazon, ship to order. It'll be out the next day.
And how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can follow me on X, Twitter, @PhillyGodfather. And the website is thephillygodfather.com.
Best of luck with your plays.
Good luck, guys.
There he goes, the Philly Godfather. Playing a few dogs this weekend. Playing the road favorite with Green Bay. And going to play the over 41 and a hook, Jets and Jags. Oh, good, another spam call. It had been at least 5 minutes since I had, in fact, received one. Any of our diehard long-term gamblers out there, see if you can dig up, or do you have any, memory whatsoever of the highest point spread that Jacksonville was ever favored with? 13.5 has got to be pretty close. You aware of anyone over there?
I was seeing earlier this week on Twitter that the Jags haven't been this big of a favorite since 2007.
Okay.
I know they were an underdog. Like it was 18 or 19 points in Denver. They were an underdog.
Oh, yeah. We all
remember that. But
right.
Being a favorite this big, no. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah, there's been some big numbers for them being dogs, but as far as them being favorites, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't even think of a game where they were a 13.5 point. And, it's Thursday night. It feels like more and more money's coming in. I would not be surprised at all if you see that at 14 and a hook when it's all said and done. Tonight's show brought to you by the Alexander Law Practice. Just go to alexanderlawpractice.com to get all the details. But if you have been personally injured, in a vehicle accident, and you just feel as though you have nowhere to turn, you do. Alexander Law Practice. It's a free consultation, so make a call, 400-6600. You're going to get a free call back, and then you're going to discuss your case, right? And no matter what it is, you may have broken bones. You may have a car that's totaled. You're never going to come out of pocket, all right? This is why you call the Alexander Law Practice, because they, depending on what is going on with your case, you may have a rental car by tomorrow. You may have a situation where medically you are getting, the attention that you deserve. Talk about your case with Rick Alexander and the good folks at the Alexander Law Practice. Again, check them out online, and it is always a free call and a free consultation at 400-6600. All right, we got much more to do with you tonight up until 8 o'clock. Our second hour, I'm going to take basically your questions the entire hour because we didn't get a chance to get to any of them last night during our live remote. 2 ways that you can get on in. First of all, on YouTube, 1010XL into the night if you want to watch the show. Secondly, on our text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
When D-Rock talks football, Jacksonville listens.
I'm listening intently.
Mike DiRocco. With Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Brightened by Lee and Kate's Glass. Thursdays 10 to noon on 1010XL.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
In Northeast Florida, power outages are unavoidable, but losing comfort, security, and peace of mind doesn't have to be. With a Generac home standby generator from American Electrical Contractors, your power comes back on automatically the moment an outage begins. As Jacksonville's leading and one of the longest-running Generac dealers, American Electrical Contracting has the experience you deserve. Be prepared. Protect your home and family. Protect your business. Generac standby generators from American Electrical Contractors. Call 737-7770 or online at american-electrical.com.
Truth Teller here, and I've solved all of your holiday problems and stress. A gift card from the Blue Crab House. Get this, you buy a $50 gift card, and you get an additional $15 card for free. It's that simple, and as always at the Blue Crab House, the best crabs in Jacksonville, oysters and seafood, period. Blue Crab House, open every day except for Monday off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about being a peacemaker. Friends, so often we can only want to help people who are in our inner circle. But God never had inner circles. The world was his inner circle, and he's depending on us to make a difference and to leave our mark in this life. So go out today receiving his peace and then sharing it with the world.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
Jags fans, arrive on time. The smartest way to get to the bank on game day is the JTA's Game Day Express
Sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens. There are 5 pickup locations. Get your $10 pass on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit jtafla.com for details.
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And a few of you have asked over the last couple of weeks about Liam Cohen and Coach of the Year. And you know, you have the situation with Mike Vrabel is basically even money right now to win it. Ben Johnson's fallen off a little bit as a first-year coach in Chicago. And, you know, Liam Cohen is certainly deserving. He should be mentioned for this award. I just thought that 19-point lead that they surrendered in Houston and the fact that it's Jacksonville and that Jacksonville's always going to be overlooked would probably hurt Liam Cohen, but he's moved all the way up to second place. He's gone from 25-1 to 17-4. So that's plus 425 to the dollar. Translation for those who do not wager. If you lay down $100 and he wins it, you get back $425. You weren't able to double your money on that over a week ago. But Mike Vrabel's the big-time favorite, and you just heard the Philly Godfather pick Buffalo to win in New England on Sunday, and obviously if Jacksonville blows out New York, odds will change a little bit with that, but you know, we will see. Some great games this weekend, right? I mean, we look at the playoff situation and just, you know, how cool that entire deal is for Jacksonville. You understand right now that if the season ended this weekend and it was playoff football, Jacksonville would be a 3 seed. They would be hosting a 6th seed in Buffalo. Denver would get the bye, not New England. They're both 11-2, but it would be Denver with the bye. New England would be the number 1 seed, hosting a 7 seed in Houston. Just told you about the 3 and the 6 here in Duval, hosting Buffalo. And then it's Pittsburgh hosting the Los Angeles Chargers. Pittsburgh at 7-6, but remember how big of a deal I made about this during the offseason about how they were bringing to the table, changing the playoff structure of no longer giving the 8 divisional teams, okay, 2 get buys, the 6 other divisional winners, the automatic home game in the first round of the playoffs. There's talk about reseeding it and giving it to the best overall record. Man, I tried so hard to make that topical at the time, but the fact that the Jaguars have been nowhere near the playoffs as of late, man, you talk about dropping a lure or whatever it was into a pond, man, I got no bites at all on that.
No, and it's like, if you would have thought before the season of all divisions, that would have been the laughing stock that, oh, this team gets this division gets a home game for the first round of the playoffs. It would have been this division. And yet, had Daniel Jones stayed healthy, they might have had 3 teams get in, and Jacksonville's probably going to have 11 wins, if not 12, in the next couple weeks.
No doubt about it. All right, Mike Evans returns tonight for 7-6 Tampa Bay. In the Bay, hosting Atlanta, who what did I say it was earlier in the week? Either 7 or 9 consecutive years that they're not going to the playoffs. The visiting Jets have not made the playoffs in 15 consecutive years. All right, let's head to this break, but as we do, some really interesting comments today by Joe Burrow that has ruffled some feathers. If you just look at important games in the AFC this weekend, Baltimore at Cincinnati, the Los Angeles Chargers at Kansas City, Buffalo at New England, Green Bay at Denver. Okay, so an interconference matchup there, or I should say, you know what I mean. And the Colts at Seattle. I mean, what a weekend. And then Monday night, it's the Dolphins going to Pittsburgh. A night game in Pittsburgh with the 7-6 Steelers, of course, Jacksonville at New York. New York here against Jacksonville. Some really good football games involved with all of these playoff teams coming up this weekend. Second hour is all about you and your questions, and it's coming up in just a few.
The Gator Boys are back and ready to defend their national title.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
This is Gator Country. Your home for Gators hoops is 1010XL.
See the shots and feel the excitement of an international sporting event for free. The Predator Pro Billiard Series comes to Jacksonville December 16th to the 21st at the Hyatt Riverfront downtown. See top pool pros from 40 countries compete in both men's and women's tournaments. This is high stakes, high skill, championship level billiards, and admission is free. No tickets needed. Don't miss the Predator Pro Billiard Series at the Hyatt Riverfront Hotel. Details at probilliardseries.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
With the holidays right around the corner and it's time to get ready for family and friends, what better way to do it than with Zero Res? Carpets, air ducts, hardwood, LVP, tile and grout, upholstery, rugs, and stone. Zero Res, they can handle it all. Call right now, 287-5727, or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them you want the 1010XL special and get 20% off all hard surface cleaning, tile and grout, hardwood, and LVP. Spots are filling up fast, so don't wait. Happy holidays from all of us at Zero Res.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 11, 2023, the LA Lakers defeat the Indiana Pacers to win the inaugural NBA Cup trophy. LeBron James was named the NBA in-season tournament MVP.
Pick it here for Oceanside Cleaners, the very best in dry cleaning service. Free pickup and delivery, or use their self-service kiosk in Ponte Vedra and Southside for drop-off and pickup. Dry cleaning, laundry, bedding, and bridal gown preservation. If it's got fabric, they can clean it. Oceanside Cleaners.
With the sun setting earlier, Hidden Hills Golf Club has expanded our twilight specials, so you can take advantage of our afternoon rates and get your round in before dark. Book today at hiddenhillsgc.com and enjoy this beautiful fall weather.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I didn't realize there was cowbell at the beginning of this song with the Loverboy. Most famous cowbell songs? Well, Come Feel the Reaper and, that skit on Saturday Night Live with Christopher Walken and Will Ferrell, yeah, but I got to go with Mountains, Mississippi Queen, and that may offend some of you, but I'm okay with it.
It's actually a song I know.
Mississippi Queen?
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah, man. Mountain rocks.
You want to know how I know that song?
Yeah. I think we all do.
Remember the video game Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
I mainly got it from that video game. Playing the notes on the plastic guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my sister's sons used to play that stuff all the time. As a matter of fact, I heard from the youngest son. He's graduating from Tennessee in May. Everyone leaves Boston. My brother and I went to Florida State. My sister went to Colorado, then went back to Bentley. But her sons went to Miami and Tennessee.
Oh, so they're smart.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's starting an internship when he gets back to school in January with the PGA Tour. So that was with him a little bit earlier today, talking about he wants to work for the PGA Tour. I'm like, there you go, good stuff. Public relations. It's a very interesting field. Brian Sanders' name has come up to take over at Florida State as a general manager. Brian Sanders was a linebacker at Florida State. I don't know if he was a big-time recruit or if he was a walk-on, but he's a Florida State guy. He was in L.A. forever. Gladstone brought him over here. Last thing I want to do is mess up anything front office-wise in Duval, where he currently holds the title of senior advisor to the general manager, but his name has come up. Martin Mayhew's name has come up. Martin Mayhew, a former general manager around the NFL and front office executive. It is such crap right now at Florida State. I think this would be a good move. Instead of this Ryan Yari or whoever the hell they got out of some Derek Ray or whatever his name is. Get some Seminole blood in there, right? Get some Florida State blood. You got an AD from parts unknown. You got a president from parts unknown. You got a head coach from parts unknown. Get a general manager who's going to work his ass off, who's got Florida State bloodlines. So, just thought I'd throw that out there before we get to your questions at 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube tonight. You can join us. Just go to Into the Night on YouTube. 0981 Ballou. The Broncos have a great defense, but an anemic offense. They're basically like the Texans with a better record. I like the Jags odds next Sunday. If the Jags win in Denver, the national media bums will have to talk about us, even though they do not want to. No doubt. They absolutely do not want to. And they will be forced to. But again, that Frank Schwab guy was melting over, I think, on Monday or Tuesday. Did you see his power rankings that came out? He had Houston at 7 and Jacksonville at 12. So, and, I'd like to tell you to ignore it, okay? But I'm not going to do that. I go ahead. If it's what you want to do it. And I'm in such a weird position now because I don't even watch Game Day. I haven't watched Game Day in years because it turned into such a charade at ESPN, such a disappointment at ESPN. And I just don't even watch those programs anymore. They're not telling me anything, I don't already know. In the NFL, man, it's such a great product. There's some really good analysts out there. There's some brilliant broadcasters out there. But a lot of them just cannot stand you. They do not like Jacksonville. Again, this is an inconvenience for them to cover this team. And Liam Cohen even talked about it this week, the lack of respect. Anyway, good stuff there. Great movie. Talking about Heather Graham and what did we say it was a little bit earlier? I forget the name of it. Not Wonderland, but Boogie Nights. Oh, yeah.
97.
Good stuff. 33-65. That's grabbed us only 10 minutes. I don't even know what that is. Are you kidding me? 52-62. Honky Tonk Woman board on the Bayou. And Moby Dick have a lot of cowbell. You ever heard Led Zeppelin's Moby Dick?
I have not.
It's got a drum solo by the late John Bottom.
We don't have that song in our system. I have Led Zeppelin. I got like 15 songs right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
No Moby Dick.
Mm-hmm. 0041. No, they won't talk about Jacksonville. The headline will be how Denver lost the game. But again, isn't that kind of cool? And maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe you want that credit. I'm fine with it. And, I've been telling you since the Travis Hunter situation to embrace this. And again, it's just my opinion, okay? Doesn't mean I'm right. But I've always loved the villain. The villain is so unlikable. The world goes with the favorite, right? I think the first time I really experienced loving villains or heels was in wrestling. I'm like the only one that I know out of my buddies who love the bad guys. Okay, everyone loves the faces. They love the moms and the dads. Everyone loves Bob Backlund. Everyone loves, Pedro Morales and all, Bruno Sammartino. I'm like, screw that, man. Give me Blackjack Mulligan. Give me Jesse Ventura. Give me Adrian Adonis. Give me the Magnificent Morocco. When Jimmy Snuka went from face to heel, or went from heel to face, I was so disappointed. That whole thing with Ray the Crippler Stevens, giving them the pile drivers, and Roddy Piper. I loved Roddy Piper. Loved him when he was bad. Not good. So screw the media. Screw the national media. But some of you want it. You want that credit. 52-62, American Band had some good cowbell. Yeah, we had Burton Cummings on last year with the Guess Who. And what a fun interview he was. Great band. They should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Nah, I don't want to do that one as well. Some of these I'm just not going to get into tonight. Some of them I am. Okay. All right. No, this has been announced. 27-74. Do I believe the NFL will flex the Denver game? No, they're not. It's not going to be Denver-Jacksonville. It's another example of what we've just been talking about. It's going to be Baltimore and New England. Okay? And that's not Denver's fault. That's on Jacksonville. If it was Baltimore, Denver, that would be the game. If it was New England at Denver, that would be the game. If it was Pittsburgh at Denver, that would be the game. If that was Houston at Denver, maybe. Maybe. But that's what you have to accept. Again, have fun with it. 83-34, we're never going to get Trevor Lawrence versus Justin Fields in the NFL. No, we're not. But what I was really hoping for, and I don't know if we'll ever get it, was a great divisional rival. I know that the Brady Manning deal was conference. It wasn't division. But, you look at Marino against Bledsoe, Marino against Jim Kelly, and it was electrifying to me. I would love to have a Lawrence against Stroud and have it mean something. Well, Davis Mills beat him, for crying out loud. And who knows what's going to really happen in Indianapolis with Phillip Rivers playing this weekend. And, will Anthony Richardson ever arrive? Are they going to go back to the cupboard and go for another quarterback? Okay, the reclamation project worked with Daniel Jones, but is that long-term? Tennessee, who knows what's going to go on there? It's unfair to fully judge Cam Ward based on what has happened so far this season. Yeah, the Jeff Lageman Bowl this Sunday, no doubt. Pat Kerwin, NFL radio, longtime Jets executive, had one of the greatest lines that I ever remember on Jeff Lageman. And I'm trying to remember when I had this conversation with Pat Kerwin. It might have been on the road. Pat Kerwin does nice work now on NFL radio with a former Jaguars backup quarterback. And is it Jim Miller? Can you look that up for me? NFL, that I forget his name. Very good guy. Dark here. Is it Jim Miller who's on NFL radio? May have that wrong. I believe he went to Michigan State, if memory does serve me correct, and he played for the Detroit Lions. But Pat Kerwin, I was sitting with him one day. We were eating. There's a shock, Ballou. And he goes, Jeff Lageman. He goes, Jeff Lageman's the type of guy who would drive into the facility at the Meadowlands in a Harley and then sit down and read the Wall Street Journal. And I was like, damn, that is a compliment. And Jeff, of course, is a really good guy.
Yeah.
What'd you dig up?
Jim Miller, SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Yep.
Associated Press contributor, former NFL player. Yep.
Good guy. It's a good show. I haven't listened to it in a long time, but it's, and the reason being is, well, they talk about the entire league. They very rarely will get into the Jags. 38-49, but if y'all get this now, please tell Mr. Glasson how great it is to have someone in a position who holds it so important and is calm, professional, informative, and most important thing, he comes across as a regular guy instead of a total, well, Let me tell you something about Gladstone. I saw him. I bounced out of the press box on Sunday at halftime because I wanted to go say hello to Miller Electric and the good folks there. I'm friends with quite a few of them, and they're a phenomenal company. I just wanted to pop in and say hi. And I see Gladstone. He just comes up and gives me the knuckles. I mean, you don't get a lot of general managers who do that with members of the media. And we understand that the old school rules of journalism is broken, but you very rarely get something like that. And it was on his doing. He approached me with the fist out.
You just stick your hand out. Love that.
I'm not going to walk up to Liam Cohen or now Baselli maybe, but I've known Baselli for 30 years, for crying out loud.
Did Gladstone have a football in his hand?
He did not.
Okay.
He did not. But yeah, he is absolutely a different feel around here. Very genuine feel with this guy, and it's worked, and it continues to work. I mean, you're a couple of days away from being 10-4, and just think about what it's going to be like next week at this time in preparation for going to Denver. I'm actually not going to Denver. I've covered most games. I will be going to Indianapolis. I'm not going to Denver next weekend for that matchup, but that's going to be a great week. Here's what I'll tell you, though. We can wait. We can enjoy tonight We can enjoy tomorrow. We can enjoy this weekend, including Sunday at 1 o'clock. All right, we got much more to do. Taking all your questions. The best way to join us is on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also on YouTube tonight. Just go to YouTube and 1010XL into the night.
He's Jacksonville's official tape checker.
I'm Jeff Logman.
And he tells you about it Tuesdays during football season on Jaguars Today. Inspected by. Go to the pros Napa know-how. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com on 1010XL.
Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi are on a mission to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. I've instructed my team to take every reasonable offer. We won't lose your business over price. Thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to move. Get year-end savings, top dollar for your trade, and the easiest car buying experience ever. But hurry, these deals end when we hit 2,000, and we ain't leaving nothing on the table. Make it a December to remember, only at Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Start your Saturday with a whiff of the great outdoors.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Loggeman, and we bring you the fresh air of the great outdoors.
On the Nimnit Outdoors Show, presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit DFHSalesEvent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Ready to take your gift giving to the limit? Hey, I'm Ben Kay, owner of Gotham City Limit, your local comic shop, inviting you to stop by and see how we can help this holiday season. From comics to collectibles, community, and more, visit GothamCityLimit.com and always take it to the limit.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,800 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design get us organized for the holidays. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and so much more. Closets by Design will design a custom storage solution for all of your spaces. Nothing says happy holidays like a home that is peaceful and clutter-free. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before year-end and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I've got a challenge for you. Go stand next to your window. You feel a cool draft? Well, then you need Pella. The experts at Pella Windows and Doors can easily fix that with energy-efficient windows to keep the drafty air out and save you money every month. And how does 0% interest for 60 months sound? Go to PellaJacks.com and schedule a free home energy checkup. That's PellaJacks.com or visit the showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows and tell them you heard about Mike's challenge on 1010XL.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
With you till 8 o'clock tonight, with you tomorrow night as well, 6 to 8. Already looking forward to that program. My buddy Gary Smits, of course, wonderful golf writer for the Florida Times Union, also does a really good job covering the Jags, said, "You mean you love the Iron Sheik?" You know, the Iron Sheik was interesting because that was a really controversial time, you know, during everything that was happening in Iran. And he's actually the one who took the belt away from Bob Backlund after 7 years of holding on to that belt. It was the Iron Sheik who took it from him at the Madison Square Garden. That gets us to this. What do you have over there, Dylan Denmark? You're always such a giving guy, especially during the holidays.
I got a pair of tickets to the Jags-Jets game this weekend. It's at 1 o'clock at the bank.
It is. It is. And, you know, we're all looking forward to it. All right, here's what we're going to do. Bob Backlund surrendered the championship to the Iron Sheik, right? The towel got thrown in. It was, he got him in the camel clutch. But a month later, the Iron Sheik lost the WWF, and that was it at the time, the WWF championship to who? If you know that answer, you get to talk to Dylan Denmark, and you get a couple of tickets for the ball game coming up this Sunday. So, congratulations. Moondark Sid is saying, "Ballou, stop telling us how to feel." I'm never going to stop telling you how to feel. Never. Look at he's all here. We go again. Radio boy telling us Jags as we pissed about Duval till we die. He is whatever. Have a night. Good night, Moondark said. Ballou, you act like Dewey was Gardner Minshew. Indeed. I'm just not a huge fan of his game. There's really no other way for me to say it. I think he's a very limited safety. Okay? Again, it's not personal at all. I mean, all these people are giving us the answer on the text line. You got to pick up the phone and actually call 641-1010. Speaking of Mountain, this is from the 4184. I saw him at the Jacksonville Coliseum in the 60s when I was stationed at Cecil Field. Gosh, I wish I was alive for those great bands in the 60s and the 70s. Must have been incredible. Yeah, Leslie West, the opening act, in a skin-tight fluorescent bell-bottoms, jumping on the table, playing Mississippi Queen. There you go. Good stuff, that old Coliseum. Best part of that old Coliseum is when I would do the Jacksonville Lizard King games with Joe Zidlow. I used to hear all the time, you couldn't even pick up the radio station inside that facility. So when we were broadcasting on the ball, you couldn't pick it up inside. Yeah, you have to call. I know I said that, 2835. I know I did. Tried to call, no answer. That's because 700 people have called. Look at these lines.
Yeah,
all 8 of them are going crazy. Do we have a winner?
We do. Mr. Adam.
Mr. Adam won with Hulk Hogan, who came in from the, I want to say the AWA, and came over to the WWF, right? And then that big controversy about him playing, you know, with Stallone and Rocky and all that stuff. Vince McMahon didn't want that to take place. But, I see about 75 on Hogan coming in. If you rewind the tape, and you can go to YouTube and rewind, I know I'll put everything on it that I said you have to call Dylan Denmark at 641-1010. 25-31, I agree so much on Wingard. He needs to go. Listen, I mean, he's smack dab in the middle of this playoff hunt. He deserves everything that he is going to get. good or bad. But that's not what they need to do in a year. Caleb Ransaw missed the entire season. Antonio Johnson's got better. Eric Murray's not getting any younger, right? And he suffered 5 games out with the injury. I would think that when this team makes changes during the offseason, safety is going to be a big part of that. I don't think there's any doubt. I would much rather sign. You look at the secondary, I'd much rather have this team re-sign Buster Brown as a corner than Dewey as a safety, right? And I think they're going to re-sign Devin Lloyd. You got to get the deal done with Trayvon Walker. That's going to cost you a whole heck of a lot of money. Ricky forgot Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, I didn't see a ton of Dusty Rhodes growing up in Boston. It was geographical then, right? And it was East Coast Wrestling was the WWF. Dusty was in these parts for the most parts, WCW and whatever it was. But I bought all those old school wrestling magazines, every single one, and knew all these wrestlers. I probably read 200 articles on Dusty Rhodes and never saw him fight until later in life. 7656, Ballou, I don't care about the national media. You might have been a Dick Slater fan back in the day, or Terry Funk. Terry Funk, only next to Ric Flair, may have been the best seller in wrestling history. No one took a punch like Ric Flair. No one went through the dramatics like Flair to sell the event, to sell the fight. Terry Funk was pretty close. And again, there's another guy I didn't watch a lot until late. Sometimes sometimes late at night I do. If I'm out 3 fingers worth times 2 times 3, I find myself watching old school hockey fights on YouTube. There's nothing quite like it. But I do watch old wrestling on YouTube. And I've seen Terry Funk fight over the years, but again, I learned about him from reading.
Is there an obscure sport that you can watch old school, like from when you were, the 80s or 90s, and you just watch randomly and never get tired of it?
I love the condensed versions that I found before of like from 79, 80, 81, like the Celtics against the 76ers.
Okay.
Was just, basketball back then was a brutal sport. You just saw what took place in the paint with Caldwell Jones and Rick Roby and Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish and Daryl Dawkins and Bobby Jones and just back and forth. And then, of course, Boston against LA. I like those condensed versions. But for the most part, I like watching hockey fights.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't explain this. I love watching it's not NASCAR, but it was the IROC Racing Series.
Oh, really?
When you could take, a couple guys from NASCAR and Formula One and IndyCar and then put them in a couple of different cars. And no sponsor, just the color. And, they ran at whatever, Daytona or Talladega or Michigan. That was the best racing. I don't even watch NASCAR anymore. But I could watch that kind of racing all the time.
Okay. Never really got into that. I tell you what I do go back and watch. If there was a sport, it's boxing.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely, yeah.
Go back and watch the first round of, you want to see the greatest thing you'll ever see? Go back and watch the first round of, from Brockton, Massachusetts. Not Rocky Marciano, but Marvelous Marvin Hagler against Tommy Hearns in the first round.
80s better than 90s?
Oh, yeah. And for the heavyweights, the 70s was the best. But, in that lighter division, I thought the 80s. And, we never got that rematch against, to this day, I think Marvelous Marvin Hagler was totally robbed by Sugar Ray Leonard. 1651 says Vince McMahon wanted to promote Hogan and didn't want Backlund to drop it to Hogan. So we had Backlund drop it to the Sheik so they could go for that whole Iran against America thing. The Sheik dropped. The Sheik, and I know this from listening to, some shoots, which is a wrestling term about when they talk garbage about other guys, and it's typically after their career. The Sheik lived his entire career in character. And I used to listen to him back when Howard Stern was cool to listen to. Listen, what Howard Stern, I want to hear his interviews. I want to hear him bring in a pack of strippers and do something funny. I don't need Howard Stern talking about politics. Okay? It would be like us talking politics. This is an escape from politics. That's why I don't talk about it. Howard Stern talking about it? Come on, man. Why have you gone down that road? You're the greatest radio personality in our history. And you made your bones by doing things the way you did it. You don't need to be talking about politics. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, he will do what he will do. Tiger in 2000, that would be duplicated. No doubt. Yeah, Tiger videos. I do watch some old school golf every once in a while. But yeah, I mean, YouTube, I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. And you can watch us on YouTube. Just go to 1010XL into the night. All right, we got much more to do. More of your phone calls, or excuse me, more of your texts coming up. And Rafael Esparza coming up with you tonight till 8 o'clock.
Mike Dempsey here. It's truck time at Big Number 1 Duval Ford. Check out their huge selections of brand new F-150s, America's best-selling truck for over 40 years. Right now, drive one home with an incredible 0% financing for 60 months, plus no payments for 90 days. That's right, 0 interest and no payments till next year. Your new F-150 is waiting at Big Number 1 Duval Ford. Visit DuvalFord.com or stop by 1616 Cassett Avenue today.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law. When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right. RestoPros! A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time. RestoPros! Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestoProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestoProsNEFlorida.com. RestoPros!
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
When the team heats up and the temps climb high, Sunrise Heating and AC keeps you cool. That's no lie. From kickoff to overtime and every long drive, they'll keep your home feeling fresh and alive. When your system's down, don't sweat the score. Sunrise Heating and AC of North Florida is ready to restore. Fast, honest service from a local crew, keeping Jacksonville fans chill all season through. Your comfort starts here at sunriseheatingandac.com.
Touchdown!
Need some extra cash for the holidays? Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach is always looking to buy guns, guitars, surfboards, tools, and you know it, gold. Get cash today at Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
I know it's football season, but I know you love basketball too. And youth sports are always in season at the First Coast YMCA. Registration is now open for winter basketball at the Y. Today, more than ever, our kids need to experience the joy of being a kid while also learning the importance of teamwork, respect, and healthy living. At the Y, we're providing a safe, clean, fun environment with an exciting youth basketball league. Learn more at fcymca.org.
Host your holiday party or company event this season at Voodoo Brewing Company in San Marco. Enjoy award-winning craft beers, creative cocktails, and a scratch kitchen serving fresh, delicious food. Nothing like typical bar fare. Voodoo Brewing Company is the host site for Swamp Sessions after every Gators football game with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Email voodoojax@vbcpubs.com to book your holiday party today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Jacksonville got some real good news today. A full participation for Trevor Lawrence after being limited yesterday with an ankle. Also clearing the concussion protocol. Both Dewey, Andrew Wingard, and Walker Little, which begs the question, who's your starting left tackle Sunday? Walker Little or Cole Van Lannon? I'm saying it's going to be Cole Van Lannon. Coming up tonight, you have Tampa Bay at 7-6 at home in a must-win situation. They're 3-3 at home, 7-6 overall. Atlanta, already out of it. They are 4-9, and I say a must-win situation. Tampa Bay has won either 3 or 4 straight divisional titles, and they're tied with Carolina with 7 wins. Pittsburgh only has 7 wins as well in the AFC North, but I don't know if must-win is it, but I would think in Week 15 getting to 8-6 is what does have to take place. And finally, nothing new to report on Sharon Moore. Tomorrow is his day in court. There's a lot of rumors out there. How much of it is fact, we do not know. But it appears we're going to find out. And again, I just thought it was incredibly different to see Michigan actually come out yesterday and talk about in their release an inappropriate relationship. I mean, typically when you're fired for cause, that's it. But Michigan let everyone know exactly why Sharon Moore, after 2 years, was let go.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Rafael Esparza is our guest. How you doing, young man?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Yeah, when we have teams like this with Atlanta, who's already out of it, I mean, is it all Tampa Bay money tonight? I mean, these guys still play hard because they're playing for future contracts. What's going on this evening with that game?
You would think it would be, but what did we see last week where pouring buckets, New Orleans Saints go to Tampa Bay and beats the Buccaneers? So I think that has a lot of reason why Atlanta Falcons money has been coming in all day.
All right, New England will play host to Buffalo. A lot of people believe the Bills knock off New England, even though Buffalo struggled this year on the road.
Yeah, I'm just not sold on Buffalo's defense all season long. Don't forget, they put up some stinkers at home, giving up 30-plus points. The Ravens were able to put up 30-plus points against that defense. I lean towards Buffalo, but would not shock me if New England wins.
All right, public money is obviously on Jacksonville. The line has increased from 11.5 to 13.5. Do you have an opinion on that game? Typically, when it's that high for me, I just leave it alone.
Yeah, I tell people either first half or live bet it. Maybe hopefully the Jaguars give up a field goal and maybe the number comes back down to 7, but either bet first half, live bet it, or just pass and enjoy the game.
All right, my yearly Heisman Trophy question. As a voter, I went into this weekend wide open as to who I was going to vote for. Where's the money gone the last few days with the Heisman Trophy upon us?
It's all Mendoza. I mean, I figure whoever won that game was going to get the big public money. But don't forget, I mean, what he did against Penn State to drive down the field and to score that touchdown on tippy toes, I think that cemented his Heisman front runner. And I know everyone wants to pick Diego Pavia, but I think half of those voters want to date his mom. So I'm not going to give him that much credit on that one. But I still think it's Mendoza, and Sayan comes in second.
All right. What else is going on? It's a crazy time of year, Raphael.
Yeah, don't forget, we got Jake Paul fighting on Friday. We have John Cena's last match in WWE on Saturday, college basketball, last UFC on ESPN on Saturday. It's a big weekend.
Is the Paul Joshua fight this weekend?
Yeah, Friday night in Miami.
Where's the money there?
I think we all know where the money is at. I think Anthony Joshua is. I think he's a minus $14 favorite.
Mm-hmm. All right, now Jake Paul's lost once, or he hasn't lost at all?
He's lost once. He's lost to I can't think of Fury's son.
Okay.
beat him, but he's lost to that one.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony Joshua does have a glass chin, so I think if Paul gets a nice lucky shot in, it would not shock me if Anthony Joshua goes down.
Man, these fights continue to build up. What did I see? Tyson and Floyd Mayweather like next year in Tokyo or something crazy like that. Hong Kong. I don't know where it was. All right, Rafael. Hey, tell us about your show.
Yeah, you can catch me Monday through Friday on Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, Roku, and all that. 10 o'clock Coaching Company. And you can also catch all my stuff on Doc Sports YouTube channel and all my social medias.
All right, there you go. Rafael, always a lot of fun. Thank you.
Take it easy.
There he goes, Rafael Esparza in the very latest. Yeah, I'm not really into the, these put-together fights.
I completely forgot. I knew that Jake Paul fight was going to happen in December. I didn't know it was tomorrow. Like,
neither did I.
It just, I know it's in the middle of the football season, but a big fight, now, I mean, you can, put air quotes on big fights, but usually a big fight has build up and, you usually see it on Twitter. There's somebody sharing it. I haven't seen anything.
No. I saw an ad for it, but that was it. As a matter of fact, I thought it was, weeks down the road or something. This one totally snuck up on me. But again, it's a made for whatever event. It's not like it's a sanctioned event. The 2342 said Hogan against Andre the Giant. Andre let Hogan body slam. Yeah, that happened in WrestleMania in Detroit, but if just Google it. I mean, Andre the Giant was slammed a bunch of times, including by Hogan. I want to say maybe Big John Studd got him or someone else, and this just in, they'll embellish in the sport of wrestling every once in a while, and they certainly did that time. Boy, getting a lot of Hacksaw Jim Duggins in, including one out of Glens Fall, another one here. 5262 is indeed the volume of calls because you get recording. You can't call completed this time. Please try later. Yeah, and didn't we give tickets away using the text line at one point?
Yeah, we did Tuesday.
Oh, man.
Remember the Rosie O'Donnell wearing a bikini?
Here's my deal, and actually I'm not going to advise doing that. But you can really make the case that I screwed this entire thing up by making you go text line early in the week and then demanding a phone call tonight. See what happens when we try to be nice and give stuff away? You got to have a leader here. You got to have someone who, look at all these, tried to call but no answer. I even got texts from buddies. Like, your phone line's not, here's a guy who goes, give me a heads up next time. Yeah. I mean, there's enough stuff that I've dealt with it. Yeah, I'm going to put my job in jeopardy by tipping off buddies of mine to get them free tickets to a Jaguars game.
And there's nothing better than getting a long email from a boss. Say, hey, why are we giving these away to people you know? These are supposed to be for people listening.
And I learned that well, he is listening because he texts the minute it happened. But anyway, that's pretty good stuff. All right, let's wrap it up. Couple of more. 0030. My man Rick, I didn't know if you knew medication, buddy, but we can call. What does this say? I don't know. I just don't know. Let's check one more time. Rick, now, you know what? We're done. We're done. Hacker Nation is coming up at 8 o'clock. We'll put our final thoughts on this one in a few.
The Jets fly into the First Coast, and Trevor's in charge of in-flight entertainment. Who'll win the air battle at the bank? Duval's determined to keep New York grounded.
This is your captain speaking. Better fasten your seatbelt. We're expecting turbulence.
It's turbulence and touchdowns. Jaguars, Jets, Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010XL. 10XL.
Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, your locally owned commercial truck headquarters and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, it's Rick Ballou. We got a fresh shipment of hard-to-find ProMaster vans, perfect for Section 179. My buddy Tommy and his team are committed to the community and make the process simple. Upfits, delivery, everything handled right. If you need ProMaster vans or commercial trucks for your fleet, use you need, Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, West Side.
Divorce, menonly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay and Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to divorcemenonly.com. Divorcemenonly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Get more Gators with Dan Hickett and me, Frank Frangie, on all things Gators on 1010XL Gators Podcast, with new episodes every Monday, brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, wherever you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
David Garrard here, and once again, I'm reporting good news about how good my knees are doing following PRP treatment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For an old quarterback like me, my knees are in great shape.
You don't have to be a celebrity or a professional athlete to appreciate the everyday personal attention you'll receive at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For any orthopedic need, call on the pros at SOS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,800 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design get us organized for the holidays. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and so much more, Closets by Design will design a custom storage solution for all of your spaces. Nothing says happy holidays like a home that is peaceful and clutter-free. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before year-end and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Hey, Jacksonville DDH, Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
This bowl season, upgrade your game plan with a visit to Burlock & Barrel, Duval's first distillery dedicated solely to whiskey, right in the Brooklyn Riverside neighborhood. Stop in, see how they turn local grains into small batch whiskey, earning awards at every competition. Book a tour, settle in for a tasting, or escape the scoreboard for a bit at their full whiskey bar. Whether your team's winning or character building, at least your whiskey can be solid at Burlock & Barrel in Riverside or burlockandbarrel.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and this Christmas, Leonard Truck Outfitters and 1010XL are helping you deck the truck. Stop by either Leonard location, Landing Boulevard or Beach Boulevard, and register to win a deck bed storage system with Cargo Glide installed by the pros at Leonard. Another winner will score 2 tickets to the Florida-Georgia basketball game January 6th and a 2025 Gator Championship commemorative basketball. We'll draw the winners live Friday, December 19 during XL Primetime, noon to 2 at Leonard's Beach Boulevard. Leonard Truck Outfitters, everything you need for a great-looking, great-performing truck.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tomorrow will be a big day as well. Final preparation, if you will, before the walkthrough on Saturday for the Jaguars. But, boy, they got some really good news today. Again, a full practice for Trevor Lawrence after being limited yesterday with the ankle. And Walker Little and Dewey, Andrew Wingard, both clear the concussion protocol. It is not good news in New York at all, okay? Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, neither one practiced today. It looks as though they're not going to go. Instead, it's going to be Brady Cook under center for an offense, passing-wise, that is last in the NFL. They average 156.5 yards a game.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
We were spinning around some wrestling a little bit earlier in the program. As a matter of fact, we used it for our trivia question for the Jaguars tickets. The Iron Sheik took the title away from Bob Backlund, who held it for 7 years. A month later, the Sheik lost the belt to who?
Ooh, was that when he lost it to Hogan in Madison Square Garden?
It was.
Yeah.
He also won in Madison Square. We used to go to the Boston Garden all the time, but belts would never change. They would only change at that point at Madison Square Garden. They wouldn't change at the Forum in Philly. They wouldn't change in D.C. And, you know, Vince had everything right there in New York City.
Admittedly, I'm not the wrestling guy I once was. I used to really be in it. You go to WrestleMania, then we went to WrestleMania like 8 or 9 times in a row. But in the last couple of years, I guess I've either grown out of it or there's just not enough hours in the day. But I do recognize, I guess, Saturday is John Cena's final match.
Okay.
And he, you know, if you talk about the great professional wrestlers of all time, I mean, John Cena's on that list, and they've had sending away a year celebration, and it ends on Saturday in the Saturday night main event.
All right,
is what they have.
Give me your top 4 all time, quickly.
Mount Rushmore of wrestlers.
4.
And we're talking about everything: in ring, microphone, the whole works.
The microphone to me is actually better than the fighting.
Yeah, I'm gonna go The Rock. I'll go Undertaker. I'll go probably Andre the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4th one's either going to be Hogan, Flair, or Stone Cold. That's tough. I'll probably go Hogan. So Hogan, Rock, Undertaker, Andre.
I'll go Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Number 4, this is going to be tough for me. I'll say number 4 is... You probably do have to put The Rock in there.
I mean, what The Rock did.
Or Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes is another one,
right.
Yeah. But Dusty Rhodes wasn't in the social media era and the Hollywood era. I mean, what The Rock did is second to none. It'll never be topped.
Yeah. What's coming up tonight?
Yeah, obviously, we're going to talk a lot about the Jaguars. We're going to go to New York. Jake Asman, ESPN New York, is going to join us, kind of what has gone wrong in Aaron Glenn's first year up there, and we're going to get a lay of the land on the quarterback situation. Leon Searcy's is going to join me. And inside the Jaguar locker room, caught up with Rayon Lane, the rookie. We're going to talk about the Jaguars. We're also going to talk Army-Navy. This weekend.
Very cool.
Rayon Lane, who obviously played at the Naval Academy, gave a great answer about what it means to play in Army-Navy. I think Jacksonville being a Navy town, you'll really enjoy hearing that conversation.
Navy a big winner last year
Yep.
in his final game. And, of course, it's in Baltimore coming up this Saturday. Have a great show.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us. I appreciate all of your input. I was glad to get back to, diving into your questions tonight. We'll do the same tomorrow, 6 to 8. We're going to do some data, some analytics with Daniel Griffiths. That'll be part of the program tomorrow. Thank you to the Philly Godfather. Thank you to Rafael Esparza and, of course, Dylan Denmark. Folks, my name is Rick Ballou. You can always get into the night on 92.5 FM. And remember, no matter where you go, download the app. 92.5 FM, the app. You can take it with you no matter where